For most of human history, bedrooms, dating apps, elaborate weddings, awkward first messages, perfumes, restaurants, and relationship advice videos simply didn't exist. Yet, somehow, your ancestors still managed to meet, fall in love, have children, and perpetuate the human species for over 300,000 years. This raises a fascinating question. How exactly did ancient humans find partners, attract each other, build relationships, and raise children in a world completely devoid of modern society? The answer reveals a surprising truth about human connection, one that might reshape everything you thought you knew about love. Imagine dropping a modern person into a hunter-gatherer tribe 40,000 years ago. One of the first things they'd notice is how profoundly different the entire concept of romance was. To understand this, we must first recognize that for most of our history, ancient humans did not live in giant civilizations. Agriculture only emerged about 12,000 years ago. Before then, humans lived in small bands, typically ranging from 20 to 50 individuals, constantly moving across landscapes in search of food, water, and shelter. Your entire social universe was incredibly small. You knew everyone personally. Every argument, every friendship, every breakup, and every attraction unfolded right in front of the whole group. There was no disappearing after an awkward interaction, no ghosting. If you embarrassed yourself around someone, you still had to wake up next to them, sharing the exact same campfire the very next morning. Anthropologists studying modern hunter-gatherer societies consistently find these groups to be extremely social. People spent nearly their entire day together, walking, hunting, and sharing food. This constant proximity meant attraction worked very differently. Today, we often meet potential partners through carefully managed situations, dating profiles, curated photos, and brief text exchanges. Ancient humans, however, observed each other constantly in everyday life. They saw how someone handled stress, how generous they were with food, whether they were lazy during long migrations, or if they panicked in moments of danger. In these small tribes, reputation was everything, and surprisingly, humor may have mattered even more than physical strength. In hunter-gatherer groups, anthropologists have consistently found that good storytellers and funny individuals are considered highly attractive. A famous study among the Agta people in the Philippines revealed that skilled storytellers are not only highly sought after as mates, but also tend to have more children than others in their group. Consider that for a moment. The ability to make people laugh around a fire may have literally helped shape human evolution. This makes perfect sense. In a world without money, cars, or status symbols, personality became far more visible. You couldn't hide behind possessions, as very few individuals owned much at all. A typical hunter-gatherer camp might contain fewer objects than your modern kitchen. Therefore, people judged each other based on behavior: who shared meat after a hunt, who remained calm during danger, who comforted crying children, who made everyone else feel safe. These traits were paramount because survival depended entirely on cooperation. A single human alone in the prehistoric wilderness would perish quickly. Humans survived because the group survived, and this fundamentally transformed the dynamics of mating. While modern romance often focuses heavily on two individuals, ancient relationships were inherently communal. Your partner wasn't just joining you, they were joining your entire group. Anthropologists studying the Hadza people in Tanzania observed something fascinating. Couples rarely spent much time alone together compared to modern standards. Most daily life unfolded around other people. Privacy barely existed. Imagine trying to flirt while surrounded by 30 relatives, all holding spears and cooking roots over a crackling fire. Here's where the narrative becomes even more intriguing. For a long time, scientists assumed prehistoric humans were extremely violent and competitive over mates. Popular culture often portrays cavemen smashing each other with clubs over women, but archaeological and anthropological evidence paints a far more nuanced picture. In many hunter-gatherer societies, women actually possessed significantly more freedom in choosing partners than we once assumed. Among the Juhohansi people of southern Africa, for instance, women frequently rejected men they disliked. Divorce was common and socially accepted. If relationships became unhappy, people simply separated without significant drama. This reveals a crucial aspect of ancient human mating. Humans evolved as pair-bonding creatures, but not necessarily lifelong pair-bonding creatures. Ancient relationships were remarkably flexible. Some lasted decades, while others did not. This flexibility makes perfect sense from an evolutionary perspective. Raising human children is an incredibly arduous task. Human babies are unusually helpless compared to other animals. A newborn horse can stand within hours, yet a human baby can't even hold its own head up properly. Human children require over a decade to become independent, an enormous investment of time and resources. Therefore, humans evolved powerful emotional attachment mechanisms to keep parents together long enough to raise their offspring. Love, in this context, isn't just poetry and songs. It's a fundamental biological imperative designed to prevent two exhausted humans from abandoning each other while carrying a screaming toddler across vast prehistoric grasslands. And the arrival of children truly changed everything. One of the biggest distinctions between humans and other primates is a phenomenon known as cooperative breeding. Human mothers did not raise children alone. Grandparents, older siblings, aunts, uncles, and cousins, everyone contributed. Anthropologists sometimes aptly call humans the ape that needs a village. This cooperative childcare also helps explain why human females experience menopause, an incredibly rare occurrence in the animal kingdom. Evolutionary biologists refer to this as the grandmother hypothesis. Grandmothers became so vital in helping raise grandchildren that living longer after their reproductive years actually benefited the survival of the entire species. Your own grandmother may exist today, partly because prehistoric childcare was a collective team project. So, what did ancient humans actually find attractive? Some aspects were surprisingly familiar. Health, strength, and confidence certainly mattered. However, beauty standards were also profoundly shaped by survival. Body fat, for instance, was perceived very differently depending on food availability. In environments where starvation was a constant threat, possessing some body fat signaled health and survivability rather than laziness. Scars also carried significant social meaning. A scar from a hunt, for example, could indicate experience and bravery rather than an imperfection. Even smell played a far more crucial role than it does today. Modern humans constantly mask natural scents with deodorants, soaps, and perfumes, but ancient humans did not. And humans are considerably more sensitive to smell than most realize. Studies have shown that people subconsciously prefer the scent of potential partners with immune systems different from their own, a biological mechanism that increases the chances of having healthier offspring. Indeed, your nose has been quietly assisting you in choosing partners this entire time. Now, imagine a prehistoric night. A group gathered around a fire under a completely dark sky ablaze with stars. No phones, no electricity, no traffic sounds. Just conversation, laughter, the chirping of insects, and flames crackling in the darkness. This was the crucible where much of human bonding occurred. In fact, anthropologists believe fire fundamentally transformed human relationships. Before fire, nighttime was perilous. Early humans likely remained quiet and alert to avoid predators. But fire offered safety and light. Suddenly, humans had extra hours together after dark. During these precious hours, people talked, stories emerged, jokes were shared, and music filled the air. Romance, in many profound ways, truly evolved alongside these ancient campfires. Ancient humans likely experienced aging much faster than we do. Life was physically brutal: constant walking, injuries, childbirth without medicine, droughts, and hunger. A 35-year-old hunter-gatherer, for example, would have looked and felt significantly older than a modern 35-year-old office worker. Yet, older individuals were deeply respected because their knowledge was enormously valuable. An elder knew migration routes, dangerous plants, animal behavior, and seasonal patterns. Competence mattered, reliability mattered, knowledge mattered. Over time, human mating became inextricably linked to something truly unusual: cooperation. While most animals compete primarily through raw physical dominance, humans compete partly through social intelligence. Can you build trust? Can you maintain friendships? But can people depend on you? Can you function effectively within a group without causing chaos? These qualities became crucial survival traits, and they are still profoundly with us. Even modern dating quietly revolves around these ancient instincts, shaped tens of thousands of years ago. Confidence signals competence. Humor signals intelligence. Kindness signals reliability. Jealousy often reflects a fear of losing an investment. And love itself reflects the powerful attachment mechanisms designed to keep families together. Underneath the smartphones, the megacities, and all of modern culture, your brain is still running ancient software. Perhaps the most profound realization from all of this is that prehistoric humans were likely emotionally far more similar to us than most people imagine. They loved, they flirted, they experienced rejection, they felt heartbreak. They probably lay awake at night, wondering if another person liked them back. Archaeologists have unearthed ancient burials where humans were laid to rest holding each other. In some famous graves, evidence suggests flowers were carefully placed beside bodies tens of thousands of years ago. This isn't just a burial, it means someone mourned them, someone cared enough to stop, grieve, and remember. For all our technology and modern advancements, humans are still driven by many of the same fundamental emotions that existed beside prehistoric fires under ancient skies. Because deep down, the human story has always been the same: people searching for connection in a dangerous world.